Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Assistant Public Defender Davi Leba on behalf of Mr. Shelton. Mr. Shelton, can you state your name, sir?
Tim Shelton.
Thank you. We're here for show causes in these matters.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Shelton indicates to me that he submitted a financial hardship form.
I do have a financial hardship form here that indicates that his income is quite a bit more than his monthly expenses, even if I accept the monthly expenses as true. So I'm not seeing why I would provide him with a hardship.
Yeah, I was trying to see. Is it okay if I speak?
Yes.
Be sworn. You swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. Your attorney has permission to speak, sir.
Do I have permission to speak?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Your Honor, I know it's been a minute since you talked about this, but I was trying to see if I can take care of the fines, costs, community services. I had brought to your attention one time before, and you told me that you needed me to submit that form. And I had a couple times I had a problem with getting the form to you, but I finally did arrange to get it up to Michigan to your office. So that's the reason for that form, to see if I can get it done through community service. But what was the total of that fine again?
First of all, Mr. Shelton, did you hear any of the words that came out of my mouth?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
What did I just say?
My income exceeds more than what my monthly bills are.
Correct. So you wouldn't get a hardship or community service when your income is much higher than your monthly bill, so you should be able to pay on your fines and costs.
What was the total of my fines and costs?
$1,653. Well, wait, no, $1,953.
My income ain't that far more exceeding for my bills to be able to pay that much, I'm sure.
Mr. Shelton, would you like to request a payment plan today?
Yes, I would.
He already has a payment plan. He set up a $25 per month payment plan and has made no payments on this.
That was because we were in lieu of me getting the form to you and making a decision on whether or not I could do a community service.
All right.
That's why nothing has been paid yet.
Mr. Shelton, so the judge has explained to you that because of your income to expense ratio, she's not going to approve you to do community service, so you will need to be making payments.
Okay, no problem.
Defendant's request for a hardship is denied. I'm going to set this for a contempt of court hearing. Defendant is not making payments at that time. I will fine him in contempt and send him to jail until he decides he is able to pay on his fines and costs. I'm going to set that for August 27th, 2025 at 10:00 a.m. If he fails to appear or fails to pay, that point when time I will issue a bid for it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What's that monthly payment again?
$25 a month, sir. Right. I'll see you back here on August 27th.
Is that it?
Yes, sir. Ypsilanti Township versus Porsche Elish, 25T00202.
Paul Barnett on
Defender Davi Leba on behalf of Ms. Elish. Ms. Elish, could you state your name, ma'am?
Yes, Porsche Elish.
Morning, Ms. Elish.
Good morning, Ms. Webster.
For a pretrial at this time, it looks like they have her trying to be released back into an inpatient
That
treatment.
is correct, Your Honor. However, Ms. Elish is actually maxed out on this charge and she would like to plead guilty today.
I don't know how she could be. She was just arraigned on it on June 18th.
Ex-jail was indicating 153 days, Your Honor.
I don't know about ex-jail. I can't tell you anything about that. What I can tell you about is that she was just arraigned on this charge on June 18th.
Thank you, Your Honor. So that must have been an error. So in that case, I'd like to request an adjournment as we have not received discovery. Would like to ask the court to consider granting a personal bond with release to treatment as Ms. Elish does have in her other matters.
She has that in this matter already.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Barnett, anything from you, sir?
No objection to that. I was just trying to see about the discovery. I'll make sure that gets sent over. I'm surprised it wasn't already.
I'm going to adjourn it for 2 weeks to July 30th at 9:00 a.m. Will be continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Ms. Ellich, I hope you get back into treatment. Have you been down to inmate services to talk to them about that?
I had, cause I get sentenced tomorrow on my other cases and it's released to treatment, so they're gonna pull me in probably after tomorrow so I can get on the phone and do access at that point. So, I'm supposed to be going to the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
You can get through the treatment. We've done that before. It's the aftercare that's the problem.
It's the aftercare, so I'm gonna definitely work on my building my support system and my foundation a little bit tighter this time, so that when I get out, I have a stronger foundation to be able to stay in this and do this right. So
You should seriously consider going into transitional housing, Ms. Ellich.
I am. I did some praying about it and talked to my mother about it, and I think that's the best way to go.
You didn't fall as deeply as you have at some points. You still look good. So
thank you.
So please, Ms. Ellich, consider that, because you're at a recovery is not linear. It doesn't follow a path. It's up and down sometimes. So take this as an opportunity to get back on track, because you are not where you were when we first started this. You just are not in a good place still, but you can do this. I believe that you can truly do this, but you gotta really, really, really want it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll see you next time.
See you next time, Washington. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
All right, let's talk about that. This hearing was a classic display of firm courtroom management with a side of hard reality. Courtesy of Judge Webster. Morning began with Tim Shelton. Came in hoping the court would grant him a financial hardship and allow him to work off nearly $2.00 in fines, and coests row, community service F. Requests might have had a shatif it weren't for the pesky detail that his income clearly outweighed his reported expenses. Judge Webster pointed that out immediately, and clearly essentially saying, math doesn't lie, Mr. Shelton. What followed was an awkward back and forth where Shelton seemed confused by the dinero repeatedly, asking about the total amount due and offering explanations involving form delays moving between cities and wanting to do something positively. Judge, though patient, was not moved, especially after learning had already been set up with a $25 a month payment plan, hadn't made a single payment yet. In one of the more memorable moments told him point blank that failure to pay by the next hearing would result in contempt charges and jail time until he decided he was able to pay. Next hearing, August 7th. Next up was Porsche Elish. That hearing took a more empathetic, if still structured tone. Her attorney Daphne leave opened by noting that Elish had been released back into inpatient treatment and was ready to plead guilty until Judge Webster double-checked the record and discovered she had only been arraigned on the charge just weeks earlier. That little detail changed everything. The judge corrected the record, granted an adjournment so discovery could be provided, and set the next hearing for July 30th. The standout moment was the judge's brief conversation with Elish directly. Judge Webster didn't just talk about logistics, she gave a heartfelt bit of encouraging Elish to consider transitional housing and reminding her that recovery is not a straight lineal. Still look good, the judge adagently but earnestly, clearly invested in Elish progressed. The sincerity felt real. No courtroom theatrics here, just a magistrate trying to meet people where they are while still upholding the law. Overall, Courtroom atmosphere here had a little bit of everything, had confusion, tough love ya, near moment of defiance, and a glimmer of hope. Judge Webster kept things moving while maintaining control and compassionate attorney Daphne Leave handled both cases smoothly, staying.com, even as her clients veered off script. And for all his initial resistance, Mr. Shelton eventually said the words, Judge Webster needed to stick to the payment plan with her. Or not, he follows through. Well, that's a matter for Auguste. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read everyone.